Hello, everyone. We got a little bit of a shorter show this week, so we're going to be covering Legends. Mike's got the synopsis up, so Mike, go ahead.
All right. Today's episode is episode 7 called Marooned. After receiving a distress call from another time ship stranded in space, Rip decides to answer the call in order to use the other ship's computer to track Savage. The team is suspicious and warns him this could be a trap, but he moves forward with his plan. Ultimately, the team was right, and they have to battle time pirates. With most of the team captured, it is up to Professor Stein to rescue them all. Okay, I'm going to say right up front, this is my favorite episode of the show. It's the one that has the most promise of what this show delivered. I'm gonna start with you, Brock, for your positives. What were some of the things that stood out to you the most?
What were my positives on space movies references the episode? Like I said, they reference about every popular space movie short of Guardians of the Galaxy in the last 20 years. It was a very good development episode for almost everybody.
Yeah.
The backstory with, you always assume that Snart was the head of everything and kind of was the henchman to Mick, but now you got the fact that he's alive because Mick saved him. That whole little backstory snippet was cool. Seeing Ray out in space fixing the hatch, that I thought was pretty sweet. And continuing the trend of what I say every single freaking week, and what I hopes to become a thing later on, not in a relationship, but for more team ups with Sarah and Snart. Every time they talk at all, it's just golden, and it's never anything short of perfect.
I don't ship them as as a couple. They're just brother and sister.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I want them more together. It's very much big brother, little sister kind of thing, and yeah, like as you see them cutting through scenes, and then you see Snart's jacket on her, like that was a very nice little touch.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's all good moments for everybody, and I don't want to say everything because then you'd have nothing to say. So go ahead.
Let's see. Dr. Stein doesn't really have a lot of screen time this episode, but he does get the best moment when he comes in and saves the crew. And the way they set it up in the beginning is great. Space Ranger Stein, I don't see that. And then as they call back to it, all right, Space Ranger Stein.
Yes.
Also, I noticed the editing in this episode was just like it was great. Every single time they made an edit, it just transitioned to one of the funniest moments. Like Captain Palmer is a very stern leader that cussed him. Captain's log number whatever it was.
That was great. Picard is so much better looking than Kirk.
Yeah, this was one of the nerdiest episodes of the show. At times, like it almost felt like I was watching like Battlestar Galactica or like Deep Space Nine.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely had that hard sci-fi flavor to it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, the other thing I want to mention, which we can probably spend most of the time on, the twist with Mick.
Mm-hmm.
How he pretty much pulled a Benedict Arnold on the team.
Yeah, where he literally you thought that maybe he was going, hey, I'm gonna get them back there and whatever, but no, he literally screwed them all over. And like the line, I like you, Sarah, so I'm only gonna kill you a little bit. Oh man, he was the guy that was going to, if anyone was going to do this, it was going to be him.
Yeah. They kind of earlier this season they kind of pulled a red herring where it shows that that Captain Cold would be the one to do to pull something like that when he threatened Rip, but if anything, he's the most loyal one to the team.
Yep, he's very much a team, which he's the head of the Rogues in the show and in comics, and he's very much the person that enforces them not doing stupid crap like murdering and stuff like that. So they're really going through with showing all of his loyalty and those kind of attributes from the comics, which I appreciate quite a bit.
Didn't you at one point in the comics even have like kind of a hero complex, or he at one point wanted to be a hero?
I wouldn't doubt that. I don't know if I could call an exact storyline that he did, but I know for a fact that he's cut people's rations from Heist because they sold drugs to kids. If that's not a partially hero complex, I don't know what is.
If that's not a hero complex, it at least shows that he has a code.
Yeah, and that he's doing this for personal gain. He's not doing it to try to be a supervillain like most people do. There they have the complex of becomes, I'm just too bad of a person to be good. He's like, no, I just like robbing stuff. I don't need to kill people, but I like committing crimes. But yeah, and the whole that last ending scene with those two in that field, wherever that field is, was yikes. And we're not going to know about it. I'm telling you right now, he pretty much probably just found a way to freeze Rory solid until whatever. But if they had the balls to kill Heatwave, wow.
Yeah, that's
not a huge
bold
character, but still, they've already killed off one of their main casts on this show. If they killed another one, yikes.
Yeah. And yeah, remind you, that was in the pilot that they killed Hawkman.
Yeah. That's nuts.
So if
that'll lead into a conversation for later.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. If they actually went through that and killed Mick this episode, it would show that this team of showrunners, they got balls.
Oh yeah. All right, I think we pretty much went over the positives. Negatives. Man, Kendra and Ray were rushed. And I mean rushed.
Yeah.
They were going so well with developing that. If they would have just cut off that whole scene with them kissing, have them have a little sentimental talk, and then go away, that would have been fine. But come on.
Yeah, I didn't like the kiss either. But like that, it was a good moment. I'll admit, but I would have liked that moment towards the end of the season, or maybe like an episode or two later. Now it just seems way too soon.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, that's it. Yeah. Also, I have one other geeky petty negative. They referenced like 15 Star Wars quotes. None of them reference Admiral Akbar. Are you kidding me right now? This was the one line. It's a trap. Like no one said that. Like, come on. Who in that writing room didn't say, hold on, this will take 2 seconds. We have to say this. Someone's gonna notice. Like,
it was served on a platter, and they didn't take it.
No, man, I didn't have too many complaints other than that.
In case someone doesn't know, Jason Inman, who's the host of DCL Access, does his own Legend of Tomorrow review, and he throws in a lot of Easter eggs. So if you're watching that as well as the show, and there's any that we missed, feel free to drop them in the comments.
Yes.
because I could tell there's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, they didn't show us too much other than it looks like an episode of Supernatural next week coming for Legends of Tomorrow.
Supernatural meets Pleasantville.
Pretty well, yeah. It's like Supernatural always has these episodes where they go from serious. It's been really serious. Okay, now we're gonna have Dean die 300 times in an episode for comedy effect. They just do those, or we're going to get sucked into an alternate dimension where we're on the set of our show. This kind of looks like one of the, that happens in seasons. It's either 6 or 7. I'm not lying. That happens. No, it's in season 6 because spoiler, I won't mention. A person's alive still. Yeah, that happens. They get chased.
Oh, I'm so gonna watch Supernatural now.
They get chased through a dimension, through a thing where they're on the set of their show. And this is the definition of Inception acting. Jensen Ackles, the guy who plays Dean, mentions in this show, were Jared and Jensen playing Sam and Dean, playing Jared and Jensen, playing Sam and Dean.
Oh, that's
because they literally have to act as themselves, acting as themselves in scenes for the show that they're on the set of, that they live in real life. That dude, you need to watch Supernatural. John Campbell loves it for a good reason. That show is amazing. It's all on Netflix, people. Go watch it. Everything on CW's on Netflix. But anyways, all right. Enough with me talking about a show that we're not covering. But we got some questions from you guys, and I'll take one. We'll take the first one, and the second one will end up appearing more because we're going to actually have a little side thing that I came up with about that. All right. Man, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your last name. Dean Byrne? Because you have an I and an E. It's not Barn. I think it's Byrne. Asks, if Mirror Master was to appear on The Flash, who would you cast as him? Ooh. Going back to Supernatural, anyone that watches it, I would love to see Misha Collins in other things. The guy who plays Castiel, I think that he could pull off Mirror Master pretty well.
I mean, that's not bad casting at all.
No. And CW likes to reuse their actors. I'm just saying, it's a very good possibility.
That is true. This would be a cool one if Scoot McNairy got to play him.
That would be cool. But I need to find out who he's playing in BVS first.
That is true. I don't think he's gonna play like that big of a character.
No, well, depending on big, because I'm about 98% sure he's playing Jimmy Olsen.
All right. Either
way, he could. I just don't see them moving back since they Suicide Squatted like 4 actors so far off the show. If he plays an even minor role, I don't see them letting someone go in that reverse direction.
True.
But
I'm just thinking someone like a Scoot McNairy, someone who's like a character actor.
That would be, yeah, that's fair. You know, he'd never do it. But man, now it just left my head. He played Justin Hammer. I can't think of his name. Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell. Thank you. I couldn't think. He would.
Oh my god, that would be amazing. He probably wouldn't do it because that'd be a little bit too expensive. But man, that's such good casting.
It'd be so good. But all right. The other question that we had is not quite what we're going to go into, but we're going to use it as a baseboard for what we're going to get into. Samuel Ortiz asks, are you hoping that Vixen gets her own spinoff or joins Legends of Tomorrow? Now, I can't remember who made the comment, but there was an interview saying someone at the Big Ups, if you know what interview I'm talking about, you can say, is that their hopes is that she becomes a regular guest on Arrow or could possibly get her own show.
Ooh.
I can't remember who the interview was with, but it was one of the head producers of the shows at CW. But yes, and what we're going to turn this into is who would you like to see? Because off another interview with the guy that played Connor Hawk
Oh,
in,
what's his face?
I can't think of his name. If you want to look that up, you can. But that guy said that
Oh,
they would like to.
just had it. Joseph David Jones said, expect a lineup change on Legends next season.
Bingo. So we're going to go into who would you like to see and who would be your dream lineup for Legends. Now, I've kind of based what I have. Mine is a short term of 5. If I come up with any more while I'm talking, I will bring them up. We have 2 people that have weapons based on guns. So they were okay with having that, yeah, cold and heat. Now, there's one character that I really like that I would like to come back, and there's one character who we just mentioned who I want to be on Legends. I would like both Arsenal and Connor to be on Legends. You can pull off 2 people with guns with majorly different personalities. You can pull off 2 people with arrows or majorly different personalities. You have one person that lived in Star City during one period of time, and another person that lived in a very different period of time, spending 2 very different periods with Oliver Queen. That can make for some interesting storytelling. Obviously, Vixen.
Mm-hmm.
I want John Constantine. And Ted Cord Wildcat would, in my opinion, be very good.
You mean Ted Grant?
I said Cord. Ah, dang it. Yes, Ted Grant. Ted Grant. I'm sorry. Ugh. Comics, there's too many names. They sound alike. Yes, Ted Grant as Wildcat would be good because they just showed him in that last one fight scene in season 3, and then he was just gone. And it's just, then they got nothing. And I had one of them on the head. The other one that I would have, but he would just be a guy with a gun. But I think it could work well if they use him correctly, would be Jonah Hex.
Yes.
So there's mine. Connor, Arsenal, Vixen, John Constantine, Wildcat, and Jonah Hex. Now you're going to have to remember that is a significant power downgrade from what they have now, with someone being Firestorm and all the assorted weaponry. But, you could do stuff. They're going to meet other people, whatever. That's what I had.
I have a similar idea of a team, but it's kind of different. I too have Connor and Roy because
I'm not alone.
because having two
Archers.
Archers. Having 2 archers would be cool. Plus, it's two different points of history, so they have 2 different kind of experience levels with the crime. I also have Vixen because, come on, you got to have Vixen.
She was amazing.
I have Cisco on my team.
Ooh, his Vibe?
Vibe.
Oh, man. I would like that, but I would hate that because then he wouldn't be on Flash. But as long as he's still on a CW show, I would be happy. As long as if he was Vibe in Legends, I would be happy. Like, just for one season, they could. If it's for one season, I think we could be okay with that.
I'm trying to figure out in my head the logistics of it, because being a character on two different shows is tricky.
And one that travels through time.
Maybe there will just be certain episodes at a time where he just can't make it.
Man, that'd be they would have to multiple times travel back to 2016 just to drop him off. I don't.
The logistics of that are going to be a little wonky, but this is a dream team.
Yeah, for sure.
My final 2 are Booster Gold and Ted Cord.
Of course,
because I can't divorce those 2.
Of course, and we'd be trading out the son for the dad that everyone doesn't know that Rip Hunter is Booster's son, which would be a crazy way to end that season. with just like Booster showing up with a different team.
That would be amazing if they did that.
It's like, son, go home. I got this one. Or in the most cocky and self-obsessed way of which Booster Gold would say it. But yeah, that's a good list. I like that quite a bit. To close out, is there any other news on Arrowverse.com?
Let me see what we have.
By the way, everyone, I know that they're starting to call it the Flareoverse now. No. Just no. You do not need to combine every word, because then it will be Legends of the Flaro tomorrow, whatever, that. We don't need it.
Oh, this is kind of a big deal. Henry Allen will be returning to The Flash.
Is it going to be in an iron mask in a cage? Finally? So they can show him?
Well, it doesn't say. I'm just reading off a tweet from John Wesley Shipp. Returning to Vancouver today will be in the air as primary returns come in. Oh, the humanity. Would it be a waste of breath to say try kindness today?
Okay. When was this tweet sent?
This was Tuesday.
Tuesday. Do I need to remind everyone how ahead they shoot these freaking episodes?
Also, Kevin Smith is starting pre-production on his episode.
Oh, don't. But also, what I was just about to say, he's probably going to be in the last episode or second to third last episode of this season, because they probably got 2 in the belt right now. And I'm telling you right now, that's looking pretty good for who we think is in that cage.
Yeah.
Because what a way to end the season with the final big string saying, I got Poppy sitting in the old canary cage. But anyways, anything else?
I'm sure there's like maybe 1 or 2 things that I missed.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. There's nothing else I remembered reading other than obvious tweets from Katie and all them doing just set work and stuff like that. I can't think of. There was a incredibly stupid rumor that I'm not going to go into, but that was about the only other thing that I have.
Really, look, the last thing I have right now is just the title of next week's episode of Legends is called Night of the Hawk. So you can kind of guess where they might be going with this.
Now, part of me is wondering why they killed man, no, his first name, Carter. Thank you, man. I'm having horrible luck with names today. Why they killed him off in the early episode, man? Don't have Ray and Kendra become a thing purposely just to be a coil to piss off a somehow resurrected Connor Hawk.
Oh God, no!
Carter,
please,
Carter. Sorry,
please, no!
Don't do that. Please have this episode be about Kendra. Don't do that.
Yeah, please, no, evil, crazy love triangle.
No,
none of that.
No bueno on that. Anything else you want to get out before we close?
That's about it for this installment.
All right. These are going to be some shorter episodes, people, because like we said, we only have 1 show to cover, so be able to digest them a little easier. We cannot get every episode down to half an hour. It would be physically freaking impossible. But all right. I am Brock Emmerich. You can find me as an admin at Geeks Plus, almost said it, Geeks and Gamers Facebook group and the Sons and Daughters Facebook group. I'm trying so hard that plus it drives me every time. And poking around there. Mike, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at Captain K42 on Twitter, and look for me as an admin of the Geeks and Gamers Facebook page and the Sons and Daughters of Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to sign up for geeksgamers.com. Go sign up for those geek boards. There's lots of content there every day, prizes, giveaways, whole bunch of fun stuff. And last but not least, subscribe to the Geeks and Gamers YouTube channel, where you've got shows like the Arrowverse After Show, We Are a Geek, various movie vlogs, reviews, video game reviews, all that good stuff. So stay tuned for more content coming your way.
And we keep saying there's more stuff coming your way. There is. We just need to wait on things in order to do it. I've talked with Jeremy about doing some stuff, and he said I can. It's literally something out of my hands that I need to wait for in order for all of us to possibly start doing one specific type of video. So, once again, thank you everybody for watching. We will be putting another questions thread in the comments in the Geeks and Gamers Facebook group next week for more questions. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.